Turns out Generative Fill took all the limelight, and it kind of backstaged all the other incredible new features that deserved attention. So in this video, let's give the top 5 new features of Photoshop mid-2023 the recognition they deserve. So without any further ado, let's get started. But before we do, check this out. So here's a video of a lady meditating. I'm just gonna drag it and drop it in Epidemic Sound, the sponsor of today's video. Now, based on the scene, if you click on Sound Match, it will suggest you music. You don't even have to search for it. This is magic. Check this out. All the music right here is calming, dreamy, floating, peaceful. Don't believe me? What about a man skateboarding? It should be completely different, right? Let's drag it and click on Sound Match. Every music right here is action-based. Check this out. Epidemic Sound is by far the best place to find music for your videos without having to worry about copyright claims or takedowns, and right now you don't even have to find the music, it's just so easy. And you get unlimited access to all of these tracks with a single subscription fee. Check the link in the description to get a 1-month free trial to Epidemic Sound and just play with this incredible, crazy new feature. Any video where you use the music during your trial will remain safe and protected, even if you cancel your membership after your trial month is over. So why not try it? The first one is adjustment presets. The way it works is, let's open up your adjustments panel, go to window and make sure adjustments is turned on. In the adjustments panel at the top, you will see adjustment presets. That is a new addition. If you click on more, you'll see presets categorized differently. Now what it does is that if you click on one of these presets, by the way, you do get a preview. If you hover through it, hover through every preset to get a preview. I wish Adobe did that for LUTs, but anyway, let's click on Sunshine. Now it's looking more tasty. It's making me want onion rings. Anyway, so what it is that it's a preset of adjustment layers. So right in here, it creates a curves adjustment layer with preset settings. This gives you the flexibility to adjust it later. For example, you want the reds to be more or you want the blues to be lesser. It's non-destructive, it's customizable, and you can stack one on top of the other. So let's say in this case, I just want some warmth. Let's click on it. On top of that, I want some maybe color pop. And again, just because a preset is in portrait or landscape doesn't mean you have to use it only for portraits or landscape. Let's go with color pop right here. If you click on it, it stacks it at the top. Both of them appear as groups, and inside of these groups, you have these adjustments. A group can have multiple adjustments as well, depending upon the preset. Have a look at the before and after. It looks amazing. Now, if you want more warmth and more color pop, you can duplicate this or click again. So more warmth and more color pop. I believe the color pop is just too much, so let's decrease the opacity, slowly and gradually increase it to about 22, and there you go. So here's the before, and here is the after. Now at the moment of recording this video, you cannot create your own adjustment presets. Maybe it will be there in the future. With adjustment presets, you are limited and you don't even see the thumbnail of what's in the canvas right here. It's a completely different thing. However, if you want unlimited presets, do consider checking out PiXimperfect compositing panel. If you go to the preset section, excuse my cheap marketing, you can click on create thumbnails and it gives you a preview of different looks. Let's say this is the look that you like, just click on it and you can take it in that direction. Now you can generate random unlimited color grading presets based on it. Right now, I liked this one very, very much. And then you can decrease the opacity according to your liking. This was just a few clicks. So here's the before, here's the after. Check out the PiXimperfect compositing panel, approved by Adobe, featured by Adobe, and you can find it in this link. The next one that doesn't get a lot of love is the Contextual Task Bar. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Let's go to window and open up Contextual Task Bar. Make sure it is checked right here. And this shows you buttons and settings based on what the condition is right now. So if you open a brand new image, the most common thing we do is selecting the subject, removing the background. So let's say we click on this button, it automatically directly selects the subject from right here. You can create a curves adjustment layer and adjust the brightness of the subject, so on and so forth. You can also just simply remove the background. So if this layer is selected, automatically this turns on. You can click on it to remove the background. It creates a mask right here and you can change the background to whatever you like. Now each different scenario shows a different scene. So if you have an active selection, you will have the option to expand the selection, contract the selection, feather the selection. You would have the option to invert the selection. Sometimes you want to select the subject, invert it and fill in the new background. You have the option to transform just the selection. And of course you have the option to fill the selection. Let's say this color, hit OK, OK again, and there you go. Now when you open a new document, this is absolutely different as well. Now, obviously, it gives you the option to import an image into this. If we click right here, pick an image, and it will be placed right here. There's also a different one for transform. As soon as you press Control or Command T, or anything transform related shows up, this will show up. With this, you can easily flip it horizontally or vertically. I would have loved to see options for distort, warp, and other things right here as well. And if you're dealing with text, it's also different. So if I open up my text layer, double click on the T, it changes again. From right here, I can change the text size. That's too much. We can change the color by clicking right here to whatever we like. Yellow is nice too, something like this. Hit OK. And of course, we also have the option to change the font. Let's go for Poppins. And here we are. Now, if you don't need this, if this is bugging you or changing places, here's how to fix it. So for right now, if I make a selection, it moves right here. If I make a selection right here, it moves right there. If you want it fixed, click on the three dots and choose Pin Bar Position. Wherever you now keep it, it will stay there, no matter where you do the work. And if you don't want to see it, click on the three dots again and choose Hide Bar. That's all. Let's move to Generative Fill. We have already talked lots about it, but here's a brief. Generative Fill lets you fill an area with whatever you want using generative AI. Do keep in mind, Generative Fill is only available in Photoshop Beta, not the regular version of Photoshop. It's a completely different app, and you can get it by opening your Creative Cloud desktop app, go to Beta Apps, and install it from right there. So in this case, let's say we want to remove these two ladies, no distraction. So select the lasso tool, make a selection around them. Also, make sure you select the shadows. I'm doing a very shabby job right here, and simply click on Generative Fill. If you're not seeing the Contextual Task Bar, it means you skipped the video. Go to Window and make sure Contextual Task Bar is checked right here and click on Generative Fill. Now, you can fill it with whatever you want or leave it blank to let the AI decide. And there you go. It did an incredible job. So it gives you three options. First one, second one. I like the second one or the third one. You can go with either one of those and it does a perfect job. And since the background is blurred, you don't have to worry about resolution right here. It also does an incredible job most of the times of adding elements to your image and blending them nicely. So let's say we want to change the surface. So let's click on Select Subject. And again, all with the Contextual Taskbar. And we want to invert it because right now the shoes are selected. So click on this button and it's inverted. Click on Generative Fill and let's type in sand, generate right here. And there you go. It really does a beautiful job. Second one, third one, it even created those shadows. So cool. There are videos after videos on Generative Fill. There are videos on my Instagram, videos on PiXimperfect YouTube channel. There's also this video which you can watch, 20 applications of Generative Fill after this video. The Remove tool is also a brilliant new feature in the regular version of Photoshop. And you might be wondering, didn't you already introduce it many months ago? Actually, Remove tool was first introduced in Photoshop Public Beta, but recently it has been introduced in the regular version of Photoshop. You'll find it right here. If you don't see it for some reason, click on the three dots and choose Edit Toolbar. You can even adjust the order of the group or keep it separate. Right here, you'll see the Remove tool. I can change the order right here. Click on Done. So right now, it's in the second. Also, if we go to Edit Toolbar, if you pluck it out, keep it separate, that's also possible. Click on Done. Now it gets its own room. Lucky kid. The way it works is very similar to the Spot Healing Brush tool. First of all, I always recommend creating a new layer, choosing the Remove tool. Make sure Sample All Layers is checked so that you fill it non-destructively. And let's remove this pen. The best part about this tool is that it connects these lines. Have a look at it. There was this line on the table. It perfectly connected. The second incredible hidden feature of the Remove tool is that it creates edges. So if we zoom into the beard and if you want a straight line, just paint like this. There you go. We have a straight beard. This is so darn sharp. Have a look at it, but it's too sharp. Of course, we would decrease the opacity, but you get the point. It connects lines. Also, let's say you want to remove this laptop. Very hard thing to do. By the way, you can turn off remove after each stroke. Now you can just paint how many ever times, and if you want to apply it, you can press the check button right there. By the way, I'm holding the Shift key and clicking to create straight lines. Let's not forget the reflection, and there you go, apply. And right now we would check remove after each stroke. Watch this. I can continue from this. One more time. There you go. It's brilliantly done. Amazing, isn't it? Now, we have to paint a couple times to get two lines absolutely straight, but it's just out of this world. Now, there's a complete ultimate guide on the Remove tool, which you can watch right here after this video. The next feature is the brand new gradients, although calling it new would be a little weird. It was already there in Photoshop Beta and maybe similar applications. Now it's in Photoshop. Now it's in the regular version of Photoshop, and here's how you can work with it. So if you choose the gradient tool, right now you have the option to create a classic gradient the way it used to be before. So if you choose that and create a gradient, it is just the way it was before. It's absolutely fixed and you don't really have any adjustment. However, if you choose the new gradient, which is selected by default, and now if you create a gradient, there you go. This is absolutely adjustable. You can even change the colors. Double click on it to change color right here. Double click on in here to change color of that side. And instead of applying the gradient on the same layer and making it absolutely irreversible, it creates a gradient fill adjustment layer. And just like a gradient fill adjustment layer, you can change whatever you want, like the scaling, like the gradient right here, and you can reset the alignment just as an adjustment layer, and you can change the type of the gradient. So right here, of course, we can adjust it. We can change the type to linear. So this, my friend, is a linear gradient. Here we have a radial gradient. Here we have a reflected gradient. This is interesting. So let's change the blend mode from normal to screen and create a bloom effect. I want it right about here. Make it something like this. And we want to fade it to transparent. How do we do that? If you just open up the properties, go to window and make sure properties is checked right here. You have all the controls here. So it's going from yellow to orange-ish color. In the opacity controls on the right-hand side, we want the opacity to be 0. And there you go. This is done. So it creates a wonderful bloom effect. Now, these new on-canvas gradients also work on masks. So if you select the mask right here, choose the gradient tool, this time choose a linear gradient, and we want a gradient from white to black. And let's not apply it on her body. Let's keep it something like this. There you go. And even in here, it's adjustable. Once you click and hold, you can also hold the shift key to maintain a straight line. Just click and hold and then hold the shift key. And this is how I like it. Now, of course, we would go with something like 80%, and that looks fantastic. Also, I gotta give a big shout out to Aaron Nace because he also made it to Photoshop features. So right now, if you hover over, let's say, layers, this will pop up and you can play this video.
Layers are a very important concept to understand in Photoshop.
It will teach you about layers. Any tool you hover over with, for example, the brush tool, it will show you the guides. It should show you. All right, there you go. Let's play it. That's the OG of Photoshop. Big shout out to Aaron Nace. Congratulations. Photoshop is innovating, and it has become a greater tool for all of us than it ever was. And by the way, if you're a professional and you're capable and you're still using Photoshop version Adobe Photo Store, I highly recommend to say goodbye to Captain Jack Sparrow because now is the best time to do it because many of these new features may not even work. As a professional, it's always important to stay on top of our game and obviously not risk our clients' images. You can absolutely get a 7-day free trial of Photoshop. Check the links in the description. And I hope this video helped you. And if it did, make sure to give us a like and also don't forget to subscribe, and not just subscribe. Ring the bell so that you, my friend, don't miss any other feature tips, tricks, or tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.